and the ferry starts to arrive. They wait.
Savez-vous quelle a été leur question?
Do you know what was their question? Because in fact, the two musicians came, as I said before, to meet me, but in fact, because of the connection with the music, it's Fabienne, this woman, who started to fall asleep, and the fairy started to talk directly with them, because once you work with other people, it's not always you. We can have another connection, because, as I told you before, the light is everywhere once you are ready. So they have been asking a question on their point of view, I would say. And they did more or less as I did in the past. They are the only people who did that.
Ils ont demandé
They have been asked how
faire une musique
do
universelle.
a universal music.
Ils n'ont rien demandé pour
They have been asking nothing for themselves.
Prenez exemple sur
Take example on them.
chanter
Sing,
et rejoignez leur musique.
enjoy their music.
Que tous vous puissiez avoir
That all of you can have
cette envie de donner.
this need of giving.
Recommencez.
Start again. And you can hear that at the beginning it's not very good at all. People are surprised. Some are not singing. Some are looking at that, thinking it's completely hysterical and crazy. And it goes more and more like a wave, and everybody at one point is caught. Yeah, it's not very brilliant. And you can hear the voice of a woman who is singing especially well. It is my ex-wife, but she couldn't sing, and she had a very bad breathing. I could sing twice longer than her, and there she is absolutely, that's the word, divine. You will hear her more and more. And slowly but surely, this music is breaking the limits of the people. They're still shy, but they start to smile and to join this funny, weird manifestation with the music and the voice of this entity. But it's going to improve and improve, where people are going to be just one consciousness, exactly like the essence of the guides. Everybody starts, they go, they cannot resist. It's like a wave of divinity, something so weird. I've never seen that in my life. We'll have, of course, to turn the tape. But you can see that, yes, it's an old tape because it's an old story. But you can see that things are happening weird. And the people will go more and more into that while they started to be very negative. And that is a weird manifestation, especially when you consider that people started to speak to their friends. We saw miracles, it was fantastic, we have seen that and that. So people are coming, most of them, more in a negative spirit than anything else. And in spite of this, the beauty, they just go on. And they go more and more completely into it. No one is guiding anyone because it's in a room that is quite dark and no one is standing. Everybody is sitting. No one is leading anyone. They enter a sort of sphere of harmony. They decide to stop together while no one gave the smallest sign. Just agreeing.
Voici la suite de la surprise.
Here's the follow-up of the surprise.
Vous allez reprendre ce chant.
You are going to start this music again
Et sans Jean-Sébastien.
without Christophe, without Jean-Sébastien.
Ainsi,
Like this,
dans vos moments de solitude,
in your time of loneliness,
c'est ce chant que vous reprendrez.
it is this music that will sing
Afin
again,
de vous souvenir
so that you always
des cadeaux
remember
reçus ici.
of the present that you received during this workshop.
Vous n'aurez pas toujours devant vous un guide terrestre.
You will not always have in front of you a terrestrial guide, And there, without being proud, I discovered that they spoke about me, because I am so much with the light that even if they could go through my ex-wife, for instance, in spite of this, they are able to recognize the level of commitment with the light of everyone. And there they were talking about me because I was the complete teacher of this workshop all the time and creating a lot of fantastic manifestations for them.
Un guide incarné.
An incarnated guide, still talking about me.
Alors,
So,
essayez.
try.
Ils peuvent donner le départ.
The guitarist, they can give the beginning.
Arrêtez.
Stop.
Tous ces cadeaux seraient beaucoup plus puissants
All
si
these
vous
presents
étiez l'unité.
would be much more powerful if you could add the unity.
Ils vont chanter
I'm going to sing
la première phrase et vous continuerez.
the first sentence, and then you will go on with other musicians, with other guitarists. And when you hear the big voice, it is me. Because my duty was to keep the people rooted to the floor. So I had to give, in balance with a complete team of 80 people, a strong voice, very deep, to keep people linked to the floor. It is the duty, when you think as a team, that you are the guide of the team, to always balance the team, to always be there so that the balance is perfect in the team. The fairy said, stop, listen, listen.
Pourquoi?
Why?
Pourquoi certaines personnes
Why some of you
n'osent pas chanter?
don't dare singing?
Vous n'osez pas donner.
You do not dare giving.
Le don non plus ne vous
The
appartient.
gift doesn't belong to
Il
you.
passe à travers vous.
It goes through you.
C'est la lumière divine
That's the divine light
qui se sert de la matière
that is using matter
pour se déverser sur la terre.
to be given to the planet.
Vous êtes les instruments de Dieu.
You are the tools of God.
Alors que chacun rejoigne ce chant.
That everyone joins this music.
Qu'il soit magnifique.
That it is fantastic, may be fantastic.
Sur ce chant.
Could you live on this music?
Que pensent les professeurs?
What think the teachers? Jean-Sébastien? Christophe? I think sometimes it's quite good, but it goes in yo-yo up and down. It's not always very stable. It's very hard to give without calculating anything. Do you start to understand, both of you, everything that you can do with your guitars? You don't need other people. And there I have to add, to clarify this, is that they were planning, the two guitarists, to take a little team with them, a drum and some other stuff, and they didn't speak about this at all, to no one. And there, the Doree, the fairy, is already answering to their question before asking this question. So they are, of course, very surprised as well. To play music. You can manage pretty well alone, both of you. So they are, of course, very surprised. Sing. Yes, help them. Start with them. There people are less resisting. They go more and more. And you have more and more people singing. And you can hear the voice of the fairy with singing. But at that time, and even today, my ex-wife was absolutely unable to sing.
Pour toujours.
God is saying, listen to me. You will learn this music and you will sing it for your loneliness, when you suffer, when you're sad. Stay with us forever. You are one of us. And while she says these words, the music was this one. How weird, as if everybody was moving with only one brain. It's so magical, so intense.
Vous comprenez maintenant pourquoi il ne peut pas y avoir de batterie.
You understand why you cannot have a drum in the middle?
Vous avez encore envie de chanter?
You want to sing even more?
Bien chanter.
Let's sing.
Chanter ensemble l'unité.
Sing together the unity, the joy.
Savez-vous qui va commencer
Do you know who is going to start this the singing?
Chacun se dit.
Everyone
Oh, pas moi.
thinks, no, not me.
Jean-Sébastien.
Jean-Sébastien.
Car c'est pour lui une renaissance.
That it is for him a rebirth. And there I have to explain. John Sebastian, when he came to meet the fairy, he was called G.S. And in fact, he found the memory at once when he met the fairy, because when he was a kid, he found his mother who had committed suicide. And since this day, he was always called G.S., while he always wanted to bring music to the world. So the fairy, when he said, my name is G.S., she said, no, your name is Jean-Sébastien, like the great Jean-Sébastien Bach. And when she said that, he remembered this breaking, his hole in his memory, suddenly, and from this second, he accepted again to be called Jean-Sébastien, and he remembered that before the death of his mother, everybody used to call him Jean-Sébastien, and after the death, he was called J.S. That's what I call a therapy, you know.
C'est lui qui va chanter la joie.
It's him who's going to sing the joy,
Et vous le suivrez.
and you will follow him. And there, everybody is taking the hand of everybody. They start to be completely one. They are like, it's just, I was watching that, what's that? Every limit was broken. They were one. And they will start at once on the music, without any preparation.
Vous arrivez à une belle intensité.
You are reaching a nice intensity.
Vous attirez des êtres invisibles.
You attract to you
De beauté.
invisible beings of fantastic beauty.
Alors,
So,
pour terminer
to end
et pour remercier,
and to thank,
vous allez chanter cette phrase.
you are going to sing this sentence.
Seigneur,
Lord,
que ta volonté
may
soit faite.
your will be done and not mine. And there, may your will be done and not mine, which is everything that I explained, but everything that I presented with the dark box. That is the ego, the vehicle, the savoir-faire. And there is something much higher, your soul, that is the door to the channel of light, to be one with the light of the cosmos, the will of the Lord, for the Christian vocabulary, but you can call it the way you want. But we are always talking about the same thing. Always you have to hear, to understand, to receive it in your heart, so that you become one with the essence of the light, of the truth, the essence of the cosmos. We are one and not separated.
Accordez-vous.
Tune between
Ce
your
sera
lips.
l'exercice final de ce stage.
It will be the final
Et pour ceux
exercise
qui n'ont
of
pas
this workshop.
participé,
And for those who didn't take part in this workshop,
peut-être
maybe
que cela leur donnera une idée.
you will have an idea
Prochaine fois.
to join for the next time.
Allez-y.
Go on.
Un musicien peut donner le départ.
A musician can give the beginning. They all start together. Perfect unity. It was a technical problem, nothing. Lord, may your will be done and not mine. May the cosmic intelligence be executed on earth and not the dark box. This voice of the fairy singing, I can assure it's not the voice of my ex-wife. There's no way. And she's not singing with the others. She's, wow, it's absolutely impossible for her, I swear. listen.
Redressez-vous.
Sit correctly. Put your back straight. Everybody is holding the hand of everyone. It's so funny, so cute, so perfect.
Il est difficile de nous séparer.
It is hard to get separated.
Que chacun ferme les yeux.
I invite everybody
Même
to close
ceux qui
his
sont un
eyes,
peu surpris,
even those who are a
un peu
bit surprised, a bit shocked.
Comme vous l'avez appris pendant ce stage,
As you have been learning in the workshop,
élevez vos consciences.
rise your consciousness.
Élevez-vous au-dessus
Go
de vos questions,
above your
au-dessus de
questions,
vos corps,
above your bodies,
au-dessus de cette maison.
above this house.
Allez encore plus haut,
Go higher,
au-dessus de la Belgique,
above Belgium,
au-dessus de la terre.
above the earth.
Allez dans la lumière.
Go to the light.
Allez encore plus haut.
Go higher.
De là,
From there,
nous allons tous ensemble faire un cadeau à la terre.
we're all going to give a present to the planet Earth.
Nous allons chanter
We're going to sing
Amen.
Amen. It is completely, totally the teaching of the guides of everything I explained from the beginning, that you are not anymore humans, dark box, pain, sorrow, disappointment, sadness. You turn and you manifest on earth something so high, so magical, so fantastic that it escapes every rule of this dimension.
Un musicien peut commencer.
A musician can start.
Ne redescendez pas.
Don't go down.
Gardez les yeux fermés.
Keep your eyes closed.
Amenez votre conscience si haut
Bring your consciousness so
que ce
high
cadeau soit réellement
that this present
efficace
is really efficient for the planet Earth. We're completely into everything I explained, but they're just for one evening in music, in singing. But that's what you have to do with your complete life. And then you will go
Vous
away.
quitterez
You will leave each other
ce soir
for this evening.
en gardant dans vos cœurs
You will keep in your heart
l'expérience
the
que
experience
vous viendrez de vivre.
that you have been living now.
Ne cassez pas cette ambiance
Don't destroy,
par des
don't ruin
bavardages inutiles.
this atmosphere by useless
Gardez
talking.
tout cela précieusement dans vos cœurs.
Keep this fantastic present in your hearts. They are one. They are absolutely one. It's perfect. It's magical. Everybody is floating. You have no idea what was happening at that time. It was perfect.
Christophe, chante,
Sing
que tout le monde te suive.
that everybody can follow you. It was perfect. Perfect. People stare, they cannot move. People are supposed to leave, but they cannot. They hug each other, they cry. They're in such a state. I remember there's a woman, quite young, 25, very pretty, blonde, blue eyes. She came and she was very aggressive because of the sect and so on, you know. And after that, she was crying so much, so much. I never saw somebody crying so much. On the left and right side of each eye, tears, a real waterfall, you know. And she came to me and she was so lost and she was crying so much. And I looked at her and I said, "You are not crying. It's your soul that is crying." And she started to cry even twice more. And then I remember I sat down on stairs that were in the middle of a very big room. I looked at everybody kissing each other, hugging each other, crying, being so divine. And I thought, I did it. I showed the way to these people. I could share my experience of light to all these people. But I was wrong. Because if they were like this in the evening, it is as if the dark box is afraid of this divinity. And a lot of people, 1 week later, they started to become hysterical, crazy. The owner of the farm where we worked started to lie, to manipulate. Everybody started to be hysterical. I was invited to a meeting, let's say 1 week later, 5 days later, and 12 of the students were there, the most active in the group, organizing the workshop before and so on. And they said, "We know who you are." I said, "Yeah, me too, I know who I am." And they started to speak and to say, "You are Jesus Christ. There's only one being who's been suffering for the planet, who did what you did. You are Jesus Christ." And I said, "Okay, speak. I listen to you." And I thought that if I let them speak after 10 minutes, they would be ridiculous. But no, they went on for hours, revealing to me the miracles and everything. And I remember that there's a couple, for instance, they had a daughter of 3 years old, 2 years old, and she started to speak. Her first sentence, first name was my name. It was not my name, no, sorry, it was about my name, because her father was teaching her E.G. He wanted her to say E.G., in fact. And he was showing a picture and saying E.G. And then she turned to an icon on the side of the room, and she said, "No, Lord. Lord E.G. And the father was frozen. That was the first 3 words. So they started to tell me stories like this. And of course it was very impressive, but at the same time they were not anymore under control of what was happening. They wanted me to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. So I told them, no, I'm not the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. And they were very angry because of this. And they all started to betray, to insult, to be against me, because they couldn't deal with this intensity of the light. They needed to be too cosmic, and I said, no, we go back to the reality. We are this essence, but we are also humans. And this, they refused absolutely. And it turned very, very dark, very, very dark. And I never came back to this place. I nearly had to fight physically with the owner of the farm because he lied so much and so on. And it turned very, very dark. While it was so perfect at that time. Why? Because I opened the door to the light. But I didn't teach them to be against their dark box. So the dark box took the control again, brought back everything to darkness. And they did the worst things. There is this father, Eric, and Daniel, and they had this daughter who said, no, Lord E.G. It's like Dark Vader, And after that, some very short time after that, they had a baby. That was a vegetable baby because he had problems of oxygen. And they lived something very, very tough, very, very hard. Then a bit later on, we were together in Israel. And there we had a little bit the same kind of atmosphere. And in Eilat, a town in Israel with the dolphins, we were at the harbor. And Eric the father started to play a hautbois, an instrument of music. And it was during the night, and I said, do that. And I said, 2 dolphins are going to come. And 2 dolphins appeared, head out, and they and they started to sing with the music. And the mother was there, and the baby, the vegetable baby, was there. And after that, they went away, and I said, go on. 3 dolphins are going to come now. And let's say 20 seconds later, the 3 dolphins arrived. Same thing. And they started to sing with the music. And while all of this was happening, the baby, for the first time of his life, started crying. Oh, the terror of his soul to be stuck in this body. And the mother started to cry, and the father started to cry, and the dolphins were on the side of the harbor, putting their head directly on the wood. And I left, because I had to leave them, to let them living this experience on a magical way. This couple was extremely helped by the light on many aspects. And then this couple was unable to deal with the power and with the renommee, I would say, in spite of this kid. And they betrayed totally. They lied on everything. They became monsters. And doing that and using a house that they received thanks to the help of the light, it would be too complicated to explain. They had the arrogance to have a new daughter that they called Lucy, which means light, while they betrayed completely the light. And some months later, the little girl in the house that they received thanks to manipulations, lying to the light and not lying but becoming completely crazy and so on. The little girl, there was a river in the middle of the house, of the garden. She fell in the river that was very strong because it was winter, and she drowned, she died. That is the problem, to go to the light, to go to the intensity of this magic light, and to be unable to deal with your dark box, with your demoniac ego that is panicking because the ego is feeling, I'm losing the power. So the light, the connection with the light, received with an ego that is too dark, too demoniac, too classical in this dark society, will bring back so much darkness that to go to the light with a strong dark box and ego, it's even worse. You will be doomed because of this. And this is why I did all this book, this Bible, this secret Bible, to reveal how you have to turn your ego discreet, weak, humble, and ready to be the servant of the soul, of the channel of light, be one with the cosmic intelligence. And this is why most of the chapters are really turned towards your illusions, towards everything that you want to believe, that are part of your ego, nothing that has to do directly with a private, humble connection with this field of awareness, of power, of love, of harmony. And to be able to develop, to turn your evolution to this light, you have to learn to destroy, to make very weak this dark box, to have an essence of incarnation that must be very, very small and discreet. And every time that I worked with people, I saw people who learned to be so arrogant, so crazy, so fascist, so because of the light. It's not because of the light, it's because of the impossibility to put in the same existence a powerful dark box and the light. Of course, it will be a war. And as you are incarnated, the dark box will win. The darkness will win. And to turn yourself to the light without understanding the machine, the engine of the darkness in you will bring you back to this darkness in a very violent way. You have to learn to evolve and to become radically different, where you are with a cosmic intelligence, with this fantastic harmony, this love that you have, that is going through you. Amen means I agree. You say to the word, what is the light that you bring back to the cosmos, from the cosmos to the planet Earth, to this civilization. But if you try to do that with the dark box, will happen everything that happened before. So yes, you have fantastic manifestations, and yes, there are manifestations of light. But if you have so much darkness in you, this darkness will be afraid of the light and will take back the control by bringing horrible actions in your existence. And this is why I saw so many people turn to the light, becoming demons, devils. If you don't control, educate this dark box, the pit of the devil that is living in you, that was imposed to you by the society, by your beliefs, by your fears, by the protocol of your country and everything else, to receive a little bit of light will change you into a demon. Unless this structure of the dark box is nearly nothing, very weak, discreet, and always ready to open, to give the cable, to be plugged to the cosmic electricity of this house. Otherwise, it will be a war that you will always lose. The master Funakoshi Gishin Sensei, founder of karate, said, if you don't know yourself and don't know your enemy, you will lose every fight. If you know yourself but don't know your enemy, you will win 1 on 2. If you know yourself and know your enemy, you will win every fight. Yourself, as an essence, you are the essence of this Christ, this cosmic emanation. But your enemy is the education of this society, the dark box. And if by definition you are ignorant, which is the case of most of the people of this society, you don't know what you could be, and you don't know what you are as a dark box. Therefore, you don't know how the light can be extremely dangerous for this dark box and what this dark box is. You know nothing about yourself, whoever you are and whatever your enemy is. You know nothing, and you will lose every time. If you want to manifest and to be one with the essence of the Christ, of this cosmic energy, you have to understand the dark box that you are as well. If you didn't have it, you wouldn't be here on this planet. You would be existing on another level. You would be an angel, you would be a guide, you would be an alien, you would be whatever you want to believe. Believe me, very often I saw miracles that turned into absolute darkness, not because the miracles are bad, but because the dark box will take by the control. So you have to teach to the dark box, first of all. Each chapter of this book is to teach you the essence of this dark box, to make this dark box weak and obedient, and to bring it back to the level that it should be, a domestic, a savoir-faire, a humble vehicle, so that you can manifest, that you can sing, that you can bring back to this planet the intensity of the light. Amen. I agree with this light. I am one with this light. It is not my will, but may your will be done and not mine. May the will of the light be done and not the will of the dark box. Otherwise will happen only darkness. With the presence of the light, you can discover a lot of weird stuff and miracles that are just impossible with the rules of this vibration and existence and plan of existence. Therefore, I taught very often on the computer, on the internet, echolocation, which is the art of making a sound and listening to the sound, to the echo, and being able to see, to visualize everything around you, so that you develop the art of seeing without your eyes. Even that is very interesting, because instead of attracting a lot of sympathy, everybody hates me because of that. Because there's no way to have developed that. It is not possible. The science said no. The government said no. Therefore, it doesn't exist. So, me doing that is an insult to your dark box. While you should be very enthusiastic about this if you are a being of light. You are going to say, but I love what you do. No, it's not true. Because no one reacted positively on this ever. Ever. I had only problems because of that, in spite of teaching that in the world for free and also on the internet. And because of this, and that is very interesting because it goes with this manifestation and the dark boxes of everyone, I did a recording one day. So it is a system of 3D. So you have one mic in the right ear and one in the left ear. So you record exactly what you listen to with your ears normally. So when you listen to this recording with headphones or earphones, so for the last part you must absolutely wear the earphones or headphones so that you can hear separatedly left and right at the same time to have this 3D dimension. And in this recording, I was analyzing a house in Germany, and I'm visiting different rooms to show how it works and the different resonances that you can understand better with this system of 3D. And at one point, while I am entering in the bathroom, first of all, I explain, I am entering the bathroom. Then I say, yeah, clear difference of sound. So I step back and I enter again. And when I enter again, sorry, in the right ear, you hear a voice saying, fight. And on the left ear, there's nothing. Well, you understand that if you hear fight on the right ear, you should hear that at least on the left ear, because the sound goes everywhere. It's logical, around your head. And worse, I am alone in the house. And you have this fight. Why is it fight? Because even the echolocation in this world of darkness on every aspect, even that is forbidden. And the fact that everybody is rejecting and denying the echolocation is the absolute proof of the power of the dark box. The dark box is everywhere in the society. The dark box is in your head and in everybody's head. No one escapes this. You can teach humility to your dark box, but the dark box is there, and if you don't work regularly on it, it will grow up and will try to take the control again and to manifest the worst darkness ever you have ever done in your life, because it is what the dark box wants: educated, programmed, protected, and controlled by this society of apocalypse. This is why I will leave you now with this last thing, and the recording will stop, let's say, 20 seconds after the fight. Like this, you can really see, you can listen carefully, and you will see that in the right ear, if you wear the headphones or earphones correctly, it can be the left if you listen upside down with the headphones in the wrong way, but doesn't matter. You will hear in only one ear, fight. And yes, it is about this. Fight. Fight for the echolocation. Fight for everything that is forbidden. Fight to teach humility to the dark box. That is the essence of everything I tried to teach in this 22nd chapter, or the second introduction, so that you understand the essence of the book is mainly to give you the power to be able to host the light, welcome the light, become the light, without this war coming from the dark box. Then creating the peace and the real unity of what you are for real, a Christ. Then bring back the light to humanity. It is deeply needed. Amen. That now I am quite close to the clock on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, far away behind, there's the fridge. Now I'm going to turn. Therefore, of course, now I have the clock on the right-hand side and the fridge in front of me, but at the bottom of the kitchen on the left-hand side. You can hear now that as I face the complete room, there's much more sound. I move slowly. You can hear that I'm really walking with the floor. You can hear the clock that is further away and the fridge that is getting closer. The sounds are much shorter. Now I'm approaching the wall that is in front of me, the length of my arm. I approach more. Now I'm really facing the wall. The fridge is on my left-hand side. I turn. I'm clicking in front of the door. And now I'm going to open the door and to click with the same direction but open door. I close the door. I open the door. I enter a long corridor. It's a big house. You can hear some birds on the left-hand side. Maybe it's not easy to define that it is on the left-hand side because it's in another room. So it's resonating a bit. Now I'm going to turn on the right-hand side, and there's a very tiny room. Let's visit it. I open. Now maybe I click in front of the door, closed. So you can hear that the sound is short in front of me, but it's escaping on the right and left-hand side because the kitchen is open and the corridor is largely open on the other side. Now I am in perpendicular to the corridor. Open the room. Open. Yes, we can hear clearly the difference. I enter. And now I am in the middle of a very tiny bedroom that is full of stuff, so I will not go any further. I go back, close the door. I'm in front of the door open. I close the door. You can hear clearly the difference. I turn, you hear the birds more on the left-hand side, and I go in the way of the corridor. You hear the birds on the left-hand side. You hear there's a resonance on the right-hand side because there's a door. Now I turn 45 degrees on my right-hand side. I am therefore now perpendicular to the corridor, and I am facing the entry of the bathroom. You can hear a very different sound. Here I step backwards in the corridor, but same direction. Now I walk forwards. I'm going to enter the bathroom. Oh yes, you hear a difference. On the right-hand side, I have bath. I click towards the bath.